Hey, how's everybody doing? I made it to church. You know, uh, my friend Roger came and got me. I'm trying to eat something, Ron. Hold on a second. Anyway, so if you watched my earlier video, I don't know who watched or who didn't. I mean, I don't know. You never know. But, you know, I told you I woke up with a headache. And, of course, I wasn't feeling that great. But I've got plenty of days I don't feel that great, and I still got to do stuff. So, you know, after I'd made my video earlier, my answer was already in the pudding, you know. Because if I was up, excuse me, if I was up making a pot of coffee, and when I say pot, I mean a pot like you make soup in. Anybody that's watched my channel long enough should know that I do cowboy coffee. I throw the grounds in the pot, put the water in, boil it. Anyway, so if I was making coffee and I had not went back to sleep, because I was going to try to go back to sleep, because it was like, when I first got up this morning, it was about 6 o'clock. And I was like, man, I don't know if I feel like I'm going to be able to go. And I laid there for a second, but then my tablet was fully charged. I got on YouTube and I found that video about the Alabama trying to pass that law about homeless people. Basically making it a crime to not have nowhere to live. Because I live in Alabama, by the way, if you didn't know. No, I'm not from Alabama. Originally, this physical body was born in Tennessee. Stayed there for a good while. And then, let's see, before I lived here, which I've been here for 4 years plus, not 5, but I'm probably in the midst of about 4 years and 3 months in Alabama. But before Alabama, I had lived in North Carolina, Morganton, North Carolina, for about 11 years. Except for one time I had to go back to Tennessee to take care of some legal stuff so my disability check would come back on. Well, I'm making this video because it dawned on me when I was making some coffee and that I wasn't going to go, like, once I looked up a video about the laws they're trying to do here in Alabama, and I shared that, and I shared a few other things, I had prayed, you know, I'd asked the Spirit, hey, if you want me to be there, let me know. If I don't need to be there, or if there's not a dire necessity for it, let me know as well. And as I was pouring my first cup of coffee, the answer was like, well, I think you know the answer. I mean, there was not a pressing issue saying to be there, but the fact that I was up and moving around, even though I was tired and I didn't feel good, was proof enough that I could make it. So I said, you're right. And then the debate came, was I going to walk there or not? And once I knew I was going, I needed to eat a little something. As you know, I have been doing the intermittent fasting, but ever since this has happened and they put me on antibiotics for the thing on my back, I don't like to take them antibiotics without at least having something on my stomach. So I made 3 eggs. So I have been eating a little bit in the mornings just so that I'm not taking all the medicine I'm taking. Well, I mean, I take a bunch of supplements. Like I use ginger root powder every day. I eat a clove or 2 of garlic every day. I take turmeric. I take a supplement. I take, well, I ran out. I took my last vitamin B complex vitamin this morning or yesterday. And then other than the hydrocodone 5 milligrams that they're giving me for my arm, I take I usually don't take one of those as soon as I get up unless I'm really hurting. Like this morning, I broke one in half, took it, and took a few ibuprofen with it. And also, I can cross the state line over into Georgia, and sometimes I get kratom. I don't know if you know what it is, but you can look it up, Kratom. Some people, whatever. But it helps a little bit with keeping the pain level kind of down. I've had a bag I bought like 2 months ago of like 300 pills of kratom over in Georgia, and each pill is like a gram. So and a dose, you take about 2 or 3 grams to start. But I don't take no more than like a couple. I might take one in the morning, and then a little while later, maybe another one. Or sometimes like this morning, I took 2. Took 2 off the rip, some ibuprofen, and then a half of a pain pill. Point being is, anyway, that's helping too, regardless of what you might think about it. If you look it up, whatever. And I know some people have taken or abused kratom as well, to the point where when you stop using it, you can have withdrawals. So I've always been cautious about, like, when I get it, I'm not getting it to try to get high. I'm getting it to maintain a certain level of being able to maintain through the day for the chronic pain I constantly deal with. But that being said, I had that bag of those capsules for like about 2.5 months. But once this accident happened, because like I don't take it every day. Like if I don't need it, I don't take it. Imagine that. And drug addict, not overdoing it. Same with my pain pills. But pain pills were never my big major thing. When it came to drugs, I was more of a speed, meth head, crack head, coke head, LSD. I'm not here to brag about it, but, well, me personally, when it comes to psychedelics, I don't have no problem with psychedelics. I don't think there's an issue there. Other people, they might, even if they've never done it, a lot of people think, oh, that's the most evil thing. You'll take acid and you'll think you can fly and jump off a building. No. Anyway, my point being is, I haven't took any psychedelics in years. I don't have any ways of knowing. Although I would be interested in scouting the area. I've seen there's a few mushrooms popping up in my yard. Of course, they're not psilocybin, but I know there's probably some growing around here. Not maybe yet, but on the right day, I could probably find them. I seen a video a few years ago that now isn't that funny? I'm talking about this stuff, but I'm also going to tell you about how well church went. So let's get to that point. That's why I made this video, not to talk about what I used to do, not what I would be interested in hunting and having to have an awareness beyond what I have in a normal state of mind. But what I'm getting at is I've been really able to make my pain pill, like I'm not eating more than I need to, and I break one in half. If that's enough for a little while, then I can take the other half. I gotta stretch them out because I'm only getting like enough for a week at a time until we get all it. I'm glad it's more that way because when you got a full bottle of something, your mind can trick you to thinking you got plenty. Why don't you take 2 this morning? And then it comes time to take the second, your next dose. Why don't you take 2 more? And then before you know it, you're not like keeping up with it, and then you're halfway through the bottle, and you're getting close. You're about, you got so much longer before you get another. I don't want to run into all that. And I'm not trying to get high anyway. Trust me, when you're in a lot of pain, you got to like increase the amount of what you're going to be taking to even get a buzz. And I ain't trying to get no buzz. I just don't want to hurt. I hope y'all don't mind me rambling. But I wanted to say that when I got to church, man, I don't care, like, if you're Christian or not, it doesn't matter to me. As you can tell, I share a lot of different aspects of life. And I don't ever sit and talk about much about that aspect other than I share with you that I go to church. I go to church for the community. You know, I sit on my trailer and I don't have hardly anybody. My dog and my cat and the neighbors I talk to some. Other than that, and there's not nothing bad, but not a lot of conversation goes on over at the neighbors other than usually it's me talking, babbling on. Some people just don't talk a lot, or some people just don't know about some of the things I'm talking about. So, you know. But I've just found in my life, since I started going after I got sober, to this particular church, it's the first time in my life in a long time, like, that I just really, if I can make it, I like it. I like going. And this morning, let me just tell you, in the Sunday school thing, for, you know, the main, like the people that don't branch, because they do like elders where all the elder women go into one room and do a Sunday school, and then the men, and then you got a couple of people that do the children's Sunday school stuff and then take care of the children during the actual service. But so Sunday school was about the main thing from the Sunday school was about, like, if you're a Bible thumper, let's say, but the lesson was about using other materials that also coexist with the Bible. Or, like, the message was, if you get truth out of something, and it is truth, then it's not going to conflict with your biblical stuff. You get what I'm saying? Depending on how you look at it anyway. I've always been that way, because I was never one, like I told you, I wanted to know about the God stuff because I know about it, not because someone tells me about it. I don't want to know about it just because somebody tells me this book tells me that you can tell me all day long that it's real, it's true, and I can read it, but if it don't make no sense to me and I don't understand it, then I'm going to seek other means. And that's what I did. But I've studied all kinds of stuff. But what I liked about that message was it is true. Like, that's why I share, you know, the fifth agreement with you, the meditations I was reading. That's why, you know, I made a Mystical Eye video yesterday, but I deleted it. I was not happy with the presentation, and I think it might not be the appropriate time to start it yet. So that being said, I still got to I've got to find something that I'm going to start doing pretty regular to replace what I was doing almost daily for that meditation. So anyway, let me tell you, I thought that was cool. It was a cool, you know, I like to know that even though I would say that some Christians would probably tell me that I'm wrong in some of the stuff I read and I am sharing. Perfectly fine to believe what you want. But I would also say, if I get some bit of truth out of something, I'm going to share it. Because the truth is the truth no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing. You can deny it all day long, but it's still the truth in the end. You know what I mean? I can tell you that wall ain't a wall all day long, but we've come to the consensus and made an agreement throughout society that that's a wall. Like the 4 grand. You know, and we all, that's the process of communication so that we can communicate. What's our intentions, though? So the service, though, let's get to this. The service, it was just so on. I didn't know this, but the pastor on Thursday, so he had a quadruple bypass surgery 4 years ago in January. He's been doing pretty good. He said that the enemy, you know, had came at him saying, like he used to run. Basically, he jogs every day and all that. So after all that, he felt the presence, a presence saying, you'll never run 5 miles again. You'll never preach like you used to preach. Well, he got back to where he run 5 miles a day. He preaches even better. He feels like he's still on fire. But Thursday, he said he got up. I think it was like he said a week or two. Like at some point back in November, he started having an issue where one day he wasn't able to run 5 miles, and it was bothering him. And then things kind of got a little better, and he just kept on. But it's progressively, it hit him so hard on third. Like, he's had an issue where he had been for 4 years running 5 miles a day. Then back in November, it started like being where he couldn't get 5 miles, and then it slowed down. He was getting 3 miles, and then it got to where like evidently Thursday he wasn't able to do anything. He had no clue what was going on. So he was sharing that with us because he said his wife was like, "How are you going to preach on Sunday?" Well, he was at the church on Saturday and he felt the presence move him, the spirit, something. He said, "Honey, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but you know." He wasn't worried about that part. He just knew that he was still alive. And that message struck out to me because I've just recently been hit by a car. I have a broken arm. They just cut into my back on Thursday, took some big mass out that's been there over a year. That, yes, I had done seen a doctor, but never got the actual proper referral and got anything done about my back. But now, finally, I'm getting it moving along because the back's got to heal before they can operate on my arm. So I have all of this going on. And then this morning, the message was, you know what? I'm going to hurt anyway. There's going to be a certain level of pain regardless of any of this crap going on because I have chronic pain. So it was like I can choose to talk myself out of going when I know it makes my spirit feel better, even if I'm hurting. And I could sit here and hurt and be alone. And maybe I'd done some studying and reading and made some videos, but there ain't nothing like being around a few people that are somewhat of like mind and we're sharing in the glory of just being grateful to be alive, man. Like I said, I'm not here to push nothing on nobody. So, you know, I welcome all people. If you don't believe in God, you're welcome here. If you do believe in a God, you're welcome here. If you are any other religion, it doesn't matter. Not to me. Because from my point of view, I will tell you this. When it comes to the Christian faith, I don't truly believe that the man known as Christ came here to start a religion called Christianity. Now, you can get all upset about that, but think about it for a minute. He came here to just tell people, you don't need a middleman. You can talk directly to the source, and the source will talk directly to you through a spirit. Through the spirit. Through. But the real word is inside of you. It ain't on paper. It ain't on a scroll. It ain't on a tablet. Think about that. That's all I'm gonna end it on that. I think that's a good ending. What do y'all think? This is going on a little bit, one of my longer videos, but I enjoy sharing these things. And I just wanted to share that my day has turned out even better just because I didn't let my mind talk myself. Because I'm going to tell you, whatever it is that does not want me to achieve what I need to be doing and what I am on my way to doing, and that's just simply sharing a good message with people and trying to find some kind of unity amongst us. Things are coming at me right and left. With the back thing for over a year, back in January, it's starting to leak, to me having distractions from trying to help somebody out last year that had a really bad drug habit and I did not need it around. No, I wasn't doing a bunch of drugs with him all the time, but every once in a while he'd offer me something, and boy, old Great Cloud has a hard time sometimes turning something down. Doesn't mean that I'm proud of it. But what I'm saying is, then, you know, my dog getting pregnant, having puppies, not knowing what I was going to do, and then having to deal with that. Then they all died. Then getting sick here and there, and then getting hit by a car. Because that day I got hit by the car, all I could say was, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm not thanking the divine spirit or God, whatever, for getting hit by a car. I'm just thinking that I'm saying thanks that I'm still here and I've still got a mission I'm on. And I'm still going to keep doing. Because last night, I'm telling you, I was seriously just, for some reason, thinking, why don't I just delete it all? Take a break. That's what it wants me to do. You remember a few months back when I started really getting into David Goggins? I'm here to be y'all's cheerleader, my own cheerleader. But, you know, that kind of attitude of, oh, I've had too much going on. No, I've had way more in my past go on. Let me tell you that. The death of my mother was such a heavy thing that it took 13, 15 years to finally really kind of get out of my head and start living with it. Like accepting it. I ran so long, did every drug in the mat I could, and drank myself to almost death. Anyway, Probably been easier to deal with her death if it had not been, you know, intentional and still unsolved. But let's get into all that some other day. I don't really like talking about it. Ain't no reason to bringing up the past. All I got is now. All I got is now, baby. All I have is now. All you got is now. When I turn this video off, I don't know what else is going to happen. Hopefully I have the chance to upload it for you guys. Let's leave it there. Until next time. Oh, and like I said in the earlier video, expect some kind of good, fun stuff coming your way eventually in the next week or so. I'm going to get some good action figure videos going. I might do me a little Happy Cloud video today. I think I will. It's been calling. Happy's been asking me, hey, when you going to do a video with me? Why don't I do that? A little short video with Happy Cloud and maybe some, yeah. If y'all don't know who Happy Cloud is, I don't know if I got him right here. I know he's right around. Oh, yeah. Boom, he was screaming for me. He said, Mr. Clown, why did you have me under that comic book? Okay, well, Happy, we'll get you a video going today. Anyway, I love all y'all, man. And you know my word for love, ditto. Over and out.